r/felons. Oven Serious 1187 says, arresting officer lives 5 house away from mine. What a shit show. I just found out that the cop who arrested me lives 5 houses away from me, and I see this all the time. He doesn't even want to look in my direction, even if he is driving in a police car. Please note, he works for a different dep than the city we live in. The case was a felony and is closed. No time in custody. Anyone else live so close to the cop that arrested them? OK Piccolo 8205 says, my last arrest was by someone I went to school with, who also happened to be my neighbor. It was all good. I did what I did, and was more than happy to wear those cuffs. We still joke about it. He says he's never had someone go to jail so easily and happily. But he did help me get a bond, so I only sat in jail for a few hours. Eventually the charges were dropped. Dry Campaign 1674 says, my arresting officer just lost his battle with leukemia. It was on my social media feed because it's a small town. It made him human to me. I forgive him for holding me accountable for what I did. That's all he did. His job. And maybe I grew a little more. Big Blatey 7 says, I've worked in probation and pretrial, so not law enforcement but adjacent. Believe me, we aren't usually fans either. Just because it's awkward as hell. GPHS says, I once applied for a job with the office that prosecuted me. I almost got it too, except they had a policy of not hiring people they prosecuted. It's just business. Try not to take it personal. Gonacockle says, Wadea Ganado? Closed? As in, dismissed? Hopefully, nothing scandalous. Sounds like he might be uncomfortable with the situation also. Or maybe he doesn't even recognize you. It could be worse, like if your kids were friends/classmates. Over the Hill Millennial says, You took everything from me. Him, I don't even know who you are. Cool Butterscotch 88 says, Well, if it isn't the guy who did his job when I committed a crime. Guess what? My plea deal included no additional jail time, so now what do you have to say for yourself HMM? TSK. Uknanathindiad says, This is all you. If you were a little more mature you might find common ground. He has arrested so many people I doubt he even remembers you. Get over it. Super Duper Blazed 420 says, So, just ignore him and keep your nose clean, you will be good. r/felons. Anna PRCS says, 28 male, seeking job in Texas with F6 felony. I 28 male, am currently struggling to find a job. I could really use some advice or leads on any openings, preferably in ONIA 77,373. A bit of background, I have an F6 felony on my record from Indiana, which is the lowest level felony there. The charge was related to drug possession, weed, back in 2020. Unfortunately, it was a complicated situation involving my ex, who repeatedly called the cops on me towards the end of our relationship because I kept trying to leave her, so she'd call the cops on me and say all of her stuff was actually mine. I know I made mistakes back then, but I'm doing everything I can to move forward and create a better life for myself and my family. I'm married now, with a family to support, and am committed to turning things around. I wasn't able to finish high school, but am planning to start JED classes later this month. My work experience includes some construction, but with the Houston heat, I'd prefer something indoors if possible. I'm also pretty good with computers and electronics, and am eager to learn new skills. If anyone knows of any job openings, or has any advice on how to navigate the job market with my background, I'd be incredibly grateful. Thank you in advance for any help you can provide. Unixhacker.net says, Best advice. Seek a pardon after 5 years of your probation ending. Cost me $2,200, best money I spent. Also USPS hires low-level offenders, depending on situation. But I'm sure you could get on there. Additional smoke 3500 says. Look for alarm installation. But TBH, I'm a college graduate, vet, and felony free and all my jobs in Houston were outside. Good luck. Neither Material 4968 says. I'll hire ya. Snowdownets 8444 says. Arden hires felons, if you're close to one of the places. Old Friendship 223 says. Go be a stagehand for production, and get in with a production company. Went to prison in 2002, out in 2006, started out building stages and roofs. Once I had the chance and they saw I knew computers and revolutions, it's all been up from there. Production companies hire everyone, especially stagehand companies. Kilroff Popular Girl S says. What exactly is an F6 felony? Where I'm at we only have F3, F2 and F1. Chance 0404 says. I can't speak for Texas man, but Indiana has changed a whole lot recently in that regard. I have a bunch of F6s for possession and hypothermics and it's never really gotten in the way of me getting a job. I just recently worked as a case manager in Indy for a VA program, and I can DoorDash, even though they do a background check. That lack of a jet is gonna hurt you more than the F6s. r/felons. Juanban 622 says. I made it. At the age of 16, I made a foolish set of choices, was charged as an adult, and was left with a wonderful title that brings us all to this subreddit. Car theft, burglary, and obstruction of an officer, to name the major ones. My first year of being a legal adult was spent behind bars and I ended up paying upwards of $12K in fines/restitution. Spent most of my 20s in and out of service industry jobs, cooking/serving/tending with zero regard to financial stability or a path towards a safe future. Spent the last few years finally getting my shit together with various sales jobs in the cannabis industry out west, to sports and sales over here on the East Coast. And today, at the age of 32, I became a licensed home mortgage loan officer for a highly regarded bank where people require trust and honesty, things I never thought I would be capable of presenting on a professional level. I'm so proud of myself for having attained that quality. I plan on building a family and retiring with this career. I just wanted to share this as a reminder to any of you that felt like I did in thinking your life is over or ruined, because it's not. You made a mistake, that's it. It might take time, it's going to take effort, nothing will be easy, but it's not without reward, and it means all that much more. Zlatanka Buto says. Well done, would you mind sharing how you got this job? Gambling 2-man says. How I know you are going to continue your upward trajectory, I made a foolish set of choices. Ownership of the section making. Congrats and continued success. Glittering Sorb at 572 says. Dude, proud of you. This is what dedication and hard work does. You rock. Ricket Duck 413 says. Motivational lurker here, and I am so proud of you. Odd Dog 6329 says. No issues getting your licensing with a felony record? Orlo de Queen of Peace says. Peace be with you. WTF 852,123 says. And that is exactly why you should have charged as a minor. Best of luck to you. Present Ambition 6309 says. This is awesome. Triumphant over the negative self-talk and the energy that builds within. Nice work. Hey, I got an aunt. She's in a tough spot with her house and I was. JK, I'm playing 32 and on your way. Yeah. So I wish I didn't spend most of my 30s either in bars or behind them myself. Took me until my 40s to pull my head out. Some of us are slow, I'm the one. I haven't had any police contact since 2011. I got out and got my CDL. Worked great for my situation. So great in fact that I'm looking to buy a home late this year or early next. Keep going down that path of positivity. JeslaVestDogs1 says, congratulations, I'm going to get it together one day. Just not in this month. Complex Midnight 6043 says, good job. r/felons. Elaris Gaddo says, felony bail. If I'm out on bail, non-violent drug charge, and have a passport, when I ask the judge if I can go to Mexico to get my dental and medical done, I have a long history of getting all of this done for years. Since I don't have health insurance in the US, how likely will he approve my trip? When he approved my bail at 10%, he didn't put me on any restrictions except for, if I want to leave the state I have to file a motion and notify the court. Jbalsa says, normal thinking would be it doesn't hurt to ask, but to me, I think it can hurt to ask. Make the /judge start thinking you're a flight risk. Ask your lawyer for best advice. Macaroni66 says, he'll say no. Burnt Out and Third says, I was cleared to go to street. Martin, which is passports and all, unlike short driving Mexico trips on mixed felony bail, ag battery, deadly weapon, then possession of both MDMA and LSD in 2008, but I was only 17 and with family, who none of have records other than old weed trafficking charges with my dad in the late 70s. It was absolutely adult charges though. Pled out to the ag battery. I dumped about 100 hits of acid down my cousin's boyfriend's throat, then left him out in the middle of nowhere for beating her. In fairness, the judge wasn't as pissed as he could have been. Got 2 years of probation and 30 days with a year over my head that I didn't have to do after my year follow-up. Inf. Ohenril says, you can talk with lawyers, judge most likely would let you go to another state, but not another country. Royal Meeting 1252 says, just hire a coyote. Natural Young 7488 says, Mexico may not allow you in. Smurf says, I would say it's fine but suggest this is not legal advice, and I'm not a lawyer, that you offer documentation from previous medically related trips with your request. Treatment plans, before and after photos from cosmetic work done, receipts for payment, contact information for treating physicians, next appointment dates and times, and maybe even where you'll be staying. Financial Routine 208 says, probably gonna be a hard no. Royal Meeting 1252 says, honestly I think he will say no. I mean, they do not want you leaving the state, let alone the country. Not gonna happen. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.